Food logging should be as effortless as snapping a selfie. This month, I'm stress testing Eric Ries Lean Startup playbook, supercharged with generative AI, taking one idea from napkin sketch to working prototype in just 4 weekly sprints. Planning, MVP, testing, and evaluation. AI powers the ideation, design, and code so we can move at startup speed. If the data says ship, the code goes open source and contributors share the upside. Ready to see AI-powered Lean Startup in action? Let's dive into the plan.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Hey, I'm Agustin, senior software developer, entrepreneur, and loving husband. I'm on a mission to innovate and share every step, the wins, the fails, and everything in between. If you're into tech, creative problem solving, or just curious about building awesome things from the ground up, you're in the right place. Let's build cool things together. Here's the pain point in one line. Manual food logging kills the habit. Typing every bite or hunting barcodes is so tedious that nearly 70% of nutritious app users quit within 30 days. Even the biggest apps, MyFitnessPal, Noom, still rely on the same chore, and they fall apart on homemade or mixed dishes. Cloud cameras and smart gadgets try to help, but they haven't cracked habit thickness or cost. People won't keep paying for hardware they forget to use. Our hypothesis: if you can snap a quick photo, say 1 cup, and get macros in seconds, no spreadsheets, no guessing, engagement soars and churn plummets. The AI does the heavy lifting behind the scenes. All the user feels is one-tap ease and tiny data usage. Currently, diet and nutrition apps are an 11 billion market today, on track for 40 billion by 2032, growing at 17%. Smartphones first tracking already pulls in a third of that spend and are the fastest growing slice. Users prove willingness to pay $10 to $15 a month for tools that bleed users to friction. So a stickler, low effort solution can win big without premium prices. The white space: no major player offers near automatic camera plus video macro estimation at a price accessible to everyone. That's our beachhead. Nail low friction logging, keep users past 30, and we unlock lifetime value most apps never reach. Big market, clear pain, and AI first path to habit forming usability. The very first thing is that I was able to find other apps that kind of do this thing, right? You always want to look at your competition. For example, we have Cal AI, which, when I saw this, I was like, oh, I am not first to the market. This does a lot of the things that we want to do. However, in the reviews, even though it has really high stars, I see a lot of people complaining about the same things. So I think that we still have a space to innovate a bit, especially with like the food logging, with the voice audio logging and the snaps, just focusing on making it more accurate and potentially leave room to scale and target things like vitamins and more specific. Yeah, like for example, stuff like this. No upfront about pricing. They only told me about pricing after entering blah blah blah. So one thing we want to do is we want to give people a 7-day free trial for our service. We want people to be able to use it. Once we look at the stack, I was looking at pricing, and it looks, I think we're gonna be the first user, so we can do like a better estimation of how much it's gonna cost for us. 2 other apps that I found is one called Fastic, and similar thing. Like I signed up, and they ask you a whole bunch of questions. I try to use the image AI feature, paywall right off the back. I think a lot of the reasons why they have paywalls right off the back is because it's expensive to AI is expensive, and a lot of people haven't really nailed the affordability aspect of it. I'm a little bit arrogant in a way that I think that I can actually pull it off. But as an entrepreneur, you kind of have to believe in yourself and give yourself a shot. So this is another app that I've been looking into as a competitor. And then this one too. So I think in order for us to have a real shot at this market, I need to download these apps, pay for their services, see if I can get better results. I'm also gonna use MyFitnessPal, so maybe we can talk a little bit about strategy. But when you have an idea, the very first thing you have to do is think, is there a genuine problem you're already solving? I think I'm solving a genuine problem. The fact that I found other apps with a ton of users means that there is a lot of people interested in this solution. And then the second thing would be am I offering something unique? I think in this regard, finding the other apps, I don't think is completely unique. I think that the only way we can beat them is if our app is a little bit more streamlined. A lot of those other apps are trying to do too much. It's over bloated. It can be overwhelming. I just want a simple solution. In fact, if a simple solution existed without all the bloating and the marketing stuff and the price wall and the complicated features and like I don't really know what I need, I wouldn't be building this. I would just pay for it and use it, because building an app, it's a lot of work. But the only reason I'm doing this is because I'm trying to lose weight. This is why I'm trying to show the muscles, not too much, but I'm done my fitness journey. So if this can solve my problem, maybe it can solve the problem for other people. So that's kind of the mindset I have for this, and I do think that there's a big market here, so there's potential for more users and a growing user base, especially if we make it easy. When it comes to like habits, any friction that stops you from using the habit, any tediousness will keep you from using it. If we make it as frictionless as possible, which I believe we can accomplish with AI, just offload all the tediousness to AI and we just do the bare minimum, and it's easy, intuitive, and the pricing is clear, I think we have a real good shot at actually making some damage in the market. Let's build the MVP. Alright, so this is the $1 million sketch. Wow, impressive. We have a camera that can take input like image or a mic, processes the image, gives us valuable information about that image. It uses our voice to fill in the gaps, because a lot of times, if you take a photo of a soup, what does the soup have? What was the soup made out of? Maybe you can talk through it. Maybe you can snap your ingredients. Whatever the user wants to like. He has all the ingredients out, take a photo of what ingredients you're using. You can mention, hey, I'm gonna add 20 grams of this. It starts the loop. It's almost like a conversation you're having, and you can stop it or start it at any time. But the idea is that you're just doing your thing, it's running, and then by the end of it, you have a really good estimation of how much macros you're intaking. So here's what we have so far. I started working on this before I started filming, so I'm just gonna explain what I have. The basic navigation is camera, which is gonna be for logging. The log, so you can see what the AI thought you logged, so you have an opportunity to fix it if you want. The first version won't have that. Ideally, you don't have to fix it. But anyway, so this is just that. And then the very last thing is for you to see your stats, see how much you've been intaking, a couple days, blah, 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 blah. That's the core of the application. Can you log? Can you see what you logged? And can you see the data? Can you see your data over time? The last thing is we have an account where you can put your age or your weight and all that stuff, so that you can get better. You can track, like, if let's say you're doing a weight loss journey, or you want to track your BMI with your height. It's just some basic stuff that you can have on here. This app is going to be very simple. I just want to solve exactly the problem that I have, and hopefully other users also have the same problem that they want to solve, which is just a simple app that tracks my macros. Nothing crazy. So the very first thing is, the very first view that the user will have as they're using it is just, the very first view that they're going to see is this camera, which is going to give them the option to start logging their meal. Once they log their meal, click that button. It's going to trigger the log meal loop, which is going to show them the view of their camera, which they can snap photos by clicking this button. And if they have something to say, they can use their voice feature to kind of have more descriptive about what they're seeing, or just, hey, 20 grams of, I don't know, sugar they added to their coffee. Then they can just say that. You take a photo of your coffee and you describe what you added to your coffee, and that should build a full picture of what the user will see. As the user is logging, they can always switch to this tab here, where while the logging meal feature is active, they're going to have the option to edit what is happening, edit the information that the AI is assuming out of the voice and the photos before they finalize it and they save it permanently in their database. Once they're done, in this tab again, they're going to be able to see not only today's logs, but like previous logs. This could be from a different date, just so that they can see what they have consumed over time. And then the final tab is just for them to see stats on their food intake over days or weeks, to track their goals. It's very basic functionality for a nutrition tracker app. And finally, the profile app, which we're going to check basic user information like password, email, their age, gender, weight, height, target weight, the calorie goals, all that good stuff is gonna help with eventually for other features, and to help keep track of their goals. I think it'll be good in the future to implement this with your Apple Watch or your Samsung Galaxy Watch, whatever can help you to kind of keep track of everything for you and align them with your nutrition goals. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This should be that simple for the user. The user doesn't have to concern with any of this back-end logic flow that I will be talking about in the how to actually get the MVP running video. So if you're interested in that, tune in for the next one.